Good morning, everybody. Good Friday to you. Thank you for being here as we work on finishing up the week and finishing up this little book of Jonah. Today we'll be in the fourth chapter, starting in the fifth verse. Chapter 4, verse 5. So Jonah went out of the city, sat on the east side of the city, and there made him a booth and sat under it in the shadow till he might see what would become of the city. And the Lord God prepared a gourd and made it to come up over Jonah, that it might be a shadow over his head, to deliver him from his grief. So Jonah was exceeding glad of the gourd. But God prepared a worm when the morning rose the next day, and it smote the ground that it withered. And it came to pass, when the sun did arise, that God prepared a vehement east wind, and the sun beat upon the head of Jonah, that he fainted and wished in himself to die, and said, It is better for me to die than to live. All right, we are coming here to the end. Revival has came to Nineveh, and Jonah is ticked. Jonah is very unhappy at this turn of events, but he's holding out hope. He goes up and he sets up on the east side of the city. Says he sets himself a booth and sits down, and he is hoping, he is waiting that maybe there's some flaw, some fluke in this revival, and God is still going to rain down fire and make Nineveh look like Sodom and Gomorrah. While he's doing that, God's still working on Jonah himself. He used a large fish a few days ago to try to get his attention. Now he's going to use a gourd and a worm. He takes this gourd and he allows this gourd to grow up and provide shade for Jonah as he sat there waiting for destruction to come on Nineveh. And this made Jonah happy. The revival didn't make Jonah happy, but the gourd made Jonah happy. But then God sends a worm to eat the gourd, and a scorching wind that killed the vine and made Jonah want to die. Jonah needs medicine, folks. He goes from being mad to happy way too quickly. Again, here, as we said before, when we were talking earlier, the sea obeyed, the wind obeyed, the fish obeyed. Here, the wind obeyed, the fish obeyed, the Ninevites obeyed, the sailors obeyed, the plant obeyed, the worm obeyed. Jonah still being stubborn. He still doesn't understand what God is trying to do in him and develop him and make him a mature believer. And he simply, through all of this, does not see God. In everything that has happened to Jonah up to this point, he doesn't see God. All he sees are things that are irritating him and aggravating him, making him more angry by the minute. But he doesn't see God at work. He doesn't understand in any of this. You would think that somewhere, somehow along the way, that Jonah, after being swallowed up by a fish, after technically being rescued by a fish, being swallowed by a fish, being spit out, being sent on to Nineveh to preach, seeing the revival take place, that everything that was happening, in none of it does Jonah acknowledge or recognize the handiwork of God. That, nowhere does he stop and say, I wonder if God's trying to show me something here. I wonder if God's trying to teach me something, get me to see something in my own life. Maybe the problem problem is not the Ninevites. There's an old spiritual that says it's not my neighbors, not my how's it go? It's not my neighbor, not my family, not my neighbor, but it's me, O Lord, standing in the need of prayer. I believe that's the way it goes. Jonah just doesn't seem to see that, and unfortunately, I think that's a pretty accurate picture of many believers today. We get angry. People get mad at God. They get fed up, furious. They'll drop out of church. They'll quit serving God instead of saying, maybe God's trying to get me to see something. Maybe He's trying to get something into my old hard head, and maybe He's trying to teach me something. And so I want to give you that challenge this Friday morning, this weekend. Look around. Are some of the circumstances, some of the things that maybe are aggravating you, maybe discouraging you, maybe making you mad? Just flat out, if you were honest, you'd say, I'm a little aggravated at God for this. But maybe God's trying to teach you something. Maybe He's trying to get you to see something. Maybe He's trying to change your direction. Maybe He's trying to make you uncomfortable enough where you are to move. Maybe that's something we need to think about. Certainly Jonah did, and very possibly maybe we do too. Give that some thought today. Is God trying to get you to move? Is He trying to get you to change? Is He trying to get you to see something, understand something? Maybe that's why you're in the situation that you're in. You think about it. Have a great day. We'll see you here tomorrow morning.